All right, welcome back to the live Jimmy Dore show. We have a special guest with us, everybody. He's a stand-up comedian, commenter, activist. He's the host of Redacted Tonight on RT. He's the author of the new book, Bullet Points and Punchlines, and he's now a co-host with Graham Elwood. Graham Elwood of Government Secrets, which can be seen on YouTube. Please welcome Lee Camp. Hi, Lee.
Hey, guys. It's good to be back with you. Good to be back with some of the few remaining truth tellers out there. I feel like we're like one of those zombie movies in the end times where there's 8 humans left.
It certainly does feel that way. It's even actually a little bit worse. Actually,
Yeah.
actually,
We're out of bullets, so it's just we're using things like staple guns and stuff.
so let's. I just want to get into this real quick. I'm just glad you're here, and thanks for having. I just want to go through a couple of stories with you. So I don't know if you've heard about this, but Hunter Biden's in trouble again, and I'll lay it out for you. This is from the Biden-Harris transition team. They released this for immediate release. It says, this is a statement by Hunter Biden. He said, "I learned yesterday for the first time that the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware advised my legal counsel also yesterday that they are investigating my tax affairs. I take this matter very seriously, but I am confident that a professional and objective review of these matters will demonstrate that I handled my affairs legally and appropriately, including with the benefit of professional tax advisors." I think he wrote that in a bathtub with a cigarette. But do you think he actually wrote that, Lee, or do you think he stole it from somebody else? Just saying it might run in the family. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on. You're saying that the corrupt son of the corrupt guy who's represented the tax haven state of the United States for 40 years is having tax issues? I mean, that's why Delaware exists, is for this shit.
That's exactly why. You're right. That's exactly why they were invented. Well, at the bottom, the Biden-Harris transition team has a statement. I'll read it to you. It says, "President-elect Joe Biden is deeply proud of his son, who has fought through difficult challenges, including the vicious personal attacks of recent months, only to emerge stronger." Wow. Should the opportunity present itself where Hunter can do nothing and get paid for it, he'll be back out of his other opportunities where he's getting paid to do nothing. What a guy. That's what. So anyway, that's their statement. Their statement is here. They're really proud of him. Isn't that, no matter how bad, how many times he gets investigated or how much corruption he's involved in, Joe Biden just could not be prouder of his son. Isn't that amazing?
I'm glad I'm not in a job where your father has to co-sign the bottom of every statement. Just I'm still proud. Lee was found at a glory hole in a restaurant, and at the bottom, "Dad's still proud."
Still proud. Still proud. That's fucking hilarious. It is great that we. Would it be horrible to have a job where your dad had to sign all your statements?
And
Still
poor
proud.
Joe Biden is like, the whole time he's like, "The wrong son died. The wrong son died."
No kidding. Wow. Only the good die young, Lee. You know that.
Yeah.
So Hunter Biden to step down from board of Chinese-backed private, just so you know what the problem is with this guy. So he's getting all this money from people, and I'm going to guess he wasn't paying the proper taxes. That's what it looks like. So here, BHR Partners, Baha'i Harvest RST, Shanghai Equity Investment Fund Management Company Limited. Whew, that's a lot. That's a mouthful. So BH Partners, that's a private investment fund founded in 2013 by Chinese and American partners to make investments outside of China. BHR was founded in 2013 by 2 Chinese registered asset managers, Bohai Industrial Investment Fund and Harvest Fund Management, and 2 U.S. organizations, one of which is Rosemont Seneca Partners. So that company, according to the Wall Street Journal, planned to raise $1.5 billion, taking advantage of Shanghai's free enterprise zone to convert to dollars to be invested in foreign companies. Business registration filings in China list Hunter Biden among the key officials at Bohai Harvest. Boy, Hunter's always been a small business guy. I don't know if you know that. So here it is, Biden. So I don't know why why do you think they're allowing us to talk about this when they didn't allow us to talk about that? Right? Remember, because here it is, Twitter, Facebook, clamp down on New York Post. So there it is. LOLing, thinking about Twitter and Facebook applying these standards to the New York Times reporting of the Washington Post anonymous source. So I'm just showing you that the last time he was in the news, they suppressed the reporting of it, and he's making the point that Washington Post everybody has unsourced stories all the time. Obama aides defend banks pay to Biden's son. Wow.
Yeah, it's basically now that the election's happened, you're allowed to talk about these things because it's already over. He's already won, so they can cover it. But in Hunter Biden's defense, it's tough to know which forms of corruption are the wrong kind and which are the cool kind. Because Joe Biden has been funded by the banks and the credit companies in Delaware his entire career. I mean, they have just completely, basically bought him out. They own him, and that's his whole career. And that apparently that kind of corruption, totally cool. But then you put your name on a oil interest in Ukraine, and apparently that's wrong. It's tough to know.
So it is tough to know. Yeah. Can I use Air Force Two for a private business gig in China? Is that okay? I don't know what people get upset about.
Exactly.
So this article is from the New York Times from August 24th, 2008, and the headline is Obama aides defend banks pay to Biden's son. Now let's look at this article from 2008. It said during the years that Joe Biden was helping the credit card industry win passage of a law making it harder for consumers to file for bankruptcy protection, Joe Biden's son had a consulting agreement that lasted 5 years with one of the largest companies pushing for the changes. Aides to Barack Obama's presidential campaign acknowledged on Sunday. Yeah, he did a hell of a job just sitting around depositing checks. He just had a way about him. Hunter Biden, who works as both a lawyer and a lobbyist in Washington, a company official described him as having a $100,000 a year retainer.
These are all wonderful euphemisms for paying people off. The word retainer, the word consultant. Anytime someone's a consultant, what does Hunter Biden know that they need to consult with him about?
You tell me. Exactly, right? He knows his father's. He has access to his father's phone book. I think that's.
They needed a little advice on how to get a foot job from a prostitute in China, and so they kept him on the consulting board.
This is from 2008 when they still report this stuff. Mr. Biden's son, Hunter, received consulting fees from the MBNA Corporation from 2001 to 2005 for work on online banking issues. Hey, what was that work, you think, Lee? Hey, Hunter, is mobile deposit working? It is? Oh, okay, cool. Here's a bunch of money you don't deserve.
Hey, weren't you kicked out of the Navy for doing drugs? You can help us with this. And by the way, I am all for people getting kicked out of the Navy for doing drugs. I support that. I just don't support getting paid crazy amounts of money to be a consultant afterwards.
I'm with you. I agree. The financial services industry began seeking relief from Congress in the mid-1990s from an increase in bankruptcies that was cutting into its profits. Excuse me, Congress, we're trying to exploit these poors, and it's getting more difficult because they have nothing. Do you have our back? Of course we do, says Joe Biden. You know that. So Biden was one of the first Democratic leaders to support the bankruptcy bill, and he voted for it 4 times, 1998, 2000, 2001, and again in March 2005 when its final version passed the Senate with Biden's vote.
Biden's always been there when people need to be crushed, when it's bankruptcy, locking them up. He's always there, front and center.
Biden helped defeat amendments aimed at strengthening protections for people forced into bankruptcy who have large medical debts or are in the military. This is the guy you just elected, just so you know. Biden was one of the 4 Democrats who sided with Republicans to defeat an effort to protect debtors from the predatory lenders who helped push them into bankruptcy. Hey, and we've got a eviction crisis coming up, folks. So buckle up. So there you go. I mean, Lee, there is Joe Biden's and Hunter Biden. They've been corrupt since the day he got out of college. 100% corrupt, and we're not supposed to be allowed to report on it anymore. And I think it's weird that they're allowing us to report on the tax scandal. I guess they feel like it can't do too much damage. Joe Biden's already elected. Is that what it is, you think?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they've stopped suppressing some things, but yeah, that last one you just talked about with Joe Biden, it perfectly shows how it's both sides of the coin, right? He's elected. He gets his office by getting funded by credit card companies. And then what happens with credit card companies? They put people deep into debt, but those people can get out of that debt by declaring bankruptcy, can not owe them that money. So then Joe Biden helps pass bills that doesn't allow that. So it's, that is the definition of corruption. It is a giant circle jerk. You're getting paid by the people that are benefiting from the bill.
It's called crony capitalism, right?
Yeah, which is also just capitalism.
Was it? Yes. It's also just capitalism. Hey, what is this new show you're doing with Graham Elwood?
Yeah, we do a podcast. I mean, we also show the video of it, but we do a podcast called Government Secrets. And we basically go through, three different stories each once a week of like, we go back into history of all the latest one I just covered was how there was absolutely no reason to drop the atomic bombs, and Japan had completely said they'd surrender, and basically Truman was an out-and-out racist. There's actually a check where he tried to join the Klan, and he sent the $10 check in, and they rejected him because he was still hiring Catholics. Otherwise, he met all the requirements, and he sent his check in to join the Klan. So he was a racist, and he also wanted to show the Soviet Union that we had the bomb and we would use it. And that was the reason we obliterated 400,000 people. General
MacArthur was on the record as being against it, saying we didn't need to do it. There was other, and so I had this argument. Well, I had this debate on air at the Young Turks with my good friend Ben Mankiewicz, and I brought up all these points. The nuclear bombs did not need to be dropped. Japan was looking for a way out. And so that's the history that's not taught. And I was told on that show, Jimmy, you read any history book? I'm like, of course, if you read the history books, that's what they're going to fucking tell you, that we had to drop the bomb. They're not going to get printed if they say it was dumb, it was a bad idea, and we're genocidal maniacs. They're not going to put that in a sixth grader's textbook. Of course not.
And also, we shared a wonderful meal with the Native Americans on Thanksgiving. We had a great big turkey. Check out your history books. We had a great big turkey. It was wonderful. It was a delight. Everyone had a great time. No, it's of course they're going to say we had to drop them. It's such a horrific crime. And yeah, so we go through stories like that. Sometimes we go farther back. Sometimes we talk about something that happened that week. But it's all stuff your government doesn't want you to know.
And what's it called?
Government Secrets.
Government Secrets. Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.